How do you personally analyze certain pieces of symbolism?
Symbolism is something that either the writer, the DP, or director want to convey to the audience, but not directly saying it.
Symbolism is the use of symbols to represent ideas or quantities, and although a simple definition, symbolism is more than just that. Symbolism is a crucial element in many stories, with the main purpose being giving a message to the viewer or even adding to an experience.
Hi, my name is Melissa Kirkhoff. I currently work in production, and I'm currently on a movie called Rob Peace.
What is your favorite, what are some of your favorite examples of symbolism? So if you have certain movies that you have in mind or shows?
An example I have is a 1990 film called Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg, where these two lovers fall in love and the male actor dies. Whoopi is a medium, so she is relaying a message between the dead spouse and the wife. The way that the director placed them was Whoopi Goldberg was in the middle of the scene, the man was in the back, and in front of the screen, the first person you see is the female, but she's alive. So that symbolism is Whoopi is the bridge between the dead and the living. The living is closer to the screen because that's the reality of it, and the man who has passed away is all the way in the back of the screen because that's not the reality of it. So that's a symbolism of someone bringing these two worlds together, but the director is kind of showing you that this is not a real thing. So by placing these actors in a specific spot of the screen.
I do want to talk about Kung Fu Panda, where the whole thing of the movie is about this cool golden scroll, and Po finds it and it's blank. All he sees is himself. And then earlier in the movie we hear his dad, Mr. Ping, say, "I'll let you know the secret ingredient to the soup." We learn out that the secret ingredient is nothing. So he takes that piece of information to the scroll, and that teaches him to live to the fullest and be in the
nothing. Now. Oh, it's okay. I didn't get it the first time either.
What?
There is no secret ingredient. It's just you.
Two huge notable forms of symbolism seen today are lighting and color.
Why do you think lighting is so crucial to movie making?
It's kind of like a story inside the story. The lighting, it can set a mood. It's a mood setter. That's what lighting is. Take an example like Whiplash, the colors yellow and green, different moods.
What he is referring to is the way the writers and directors of Whiplash show when Andrew Neiman feels stress or yearning. Within the movie, it showcases its use of lighting by purposely using the colors yellow and green. The yellow, or orange tint, is used while Andrew is happy and wanting to learn more about music, specifically drumming. In this scene, he's practicing, still naive and still hopeful for himself. Notice how the yellow lighting is prominent. Another example of this colored tint is when he asks Nicole out. Behind the cash register is all yellow. She is where his hope and excitement lies. Where Andrew is standing, a green light is leaking in. The green is Andrew's nerves and stress. Lighting in films is typically used to amplify surroundings, the atmosphere around it, and portray messages such as intimidation.
Lighting has been very good. It really adds on The Boys, or especially Breaking Bad, where there would be scenes lighting portrays intimidation or an intense part where Gus, he's about to kill Hector, half of his face is shadowed out, and when it cuts to Hector, half of his face is shadowed out. They both are shown to have more of a darker side towards them, so it's a huge intimidating factor, and it adds to the scene a lot.
Where have you seen color being used to portray emotions in film?
I think the beginning of Up is a perfect example because it starts off all colorful, and as time progresses and we see them age and all the bad stuff starts to happen to them, the colors start to fade away and you just see it eventually just become gray and nasty at the end of it.
I've seen a lot of color in many different types of film. and that includes my main example, like Breaking Bad, where each character would have a different outfit or similar depending on the episode, which portrays their emotion. Like Jesse Pinkman would wear red, especially like in the beginning for seasons, because that's when he's more reckless. Then there's other scenes that go on further, such as Walt having a green apron when he first starts cooking crystal meth, and green typically in film is to represent greed and just gobbling.
Color is universally used in all films, with its most interesting properties being conveying multiple emotions depending on the tone, such as the color yellow. The color yellow can typically be used to show happiness, warmth, and friendliness. In other cases, it could portray warning, anxiety, and danger. The way the viewer differentiates what the colors mean, the theme of the story and dialogue are what provide its shape. The emotions are then portrayed in color, which completes the emotions of the story and enhances the viewing experience.
This is not working. Are we getting close?
Yeah, just another right. And a left, and then another left. And
Are you sure you know where we're going? Because we seem to be walking away from headquarters.
Do you think color in Breaking Bad could be used as a deception?
Yes, because in the show, they would put on different types of clothes to show how they feel or what they're gonna do, or just to like foreshadow. So that really ties in with deception with characters such as Saul Goodman, who would put in a different color in multiple different episodes. And there's a whole scene of him, especially like in the Better Call Saul sequel, where he just puts on crazy outfits, and that's overall his personality. You can't tell how he's gonna be. He could either be one person or the other. He's very two-faced.
How do you use symbolism within your own projects?
It involves tiny little details that I try to put in the project. So like, for example, a video I work on in class, I will put a tiny little detail to showcase foreshadowing, just tiny little teases, like little behavioral showcases with specific characters signifying that they are going down a path of good or bad or neutral. And it's simple when you look at it, but the symbolism is something that you have to like analyze throughout it.
With making films, I made a short film and I used different outfits for like authority. So gray, like black and white, like neutral colors symbolizes police or just like the bad guys in the film. And mostly the colorful colors symbolize the main characters because you want them to pop more.
This is more specific to the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. Why is the everything bagel symbolism?
So the character, I'm not gonna say who, because that would be spoilers, creates this bagel as a way to escape reality. So basically like nihilism and like existentialism. That's what the everything bagel represents.
The everything bagel and the googly eyes, that pretty much what that describes is that the everything bagel is just a black circle with an inner middle, while googly eyes is white with a black middle, and they are polar opposites of each other, which represent yin and yang. And that shows the antagonist of the series sees everything with a huge nihilism look, where there's no purpose to anything and that everything that you do has been done. While the opposite with googly eyes, it shows that there's no set purpose on life, and that's where you make your own purpose. You make your own place on where you want to go. And it shows a balance between the two. Whatever you do it because that's what you want to do.